Don't Give Up, Mallory is a much better title than the original, You're Going to Fail. Stop trying, Mallory.
Argo Font Book Review. Argo Font Book Review.
This book was written by Jonna Beecham and Malcolm Hillgartner. Progress reports are handed out. When the other kids learn that Mal has straight A's, they make fun of her for being a brainiac. They're just now realizing she's a nerd. Mallory is assigned to a children's literature class with Mr. Cobb, the handsome new teacher. He tells the students to put away their notebooks. There will be no writing or tests in this class. Grades are based on class participation. Oh my gosh, I hate when classes grade on participation. It's totally unfair to introverts. You don't like talking in front of a group of strangers? Too bad! Do it, or you get a lower grade. And then when you do build up the nerve to talk in class, they still give you a lower grade, because you didn't talk enough. In the subplot, there's a big Memorial Day parade. Buddy Barrett lied and told the organizers he's in a marching band. Instead of encouraging Buddy to tell the truth, the Babysitters Club spends a month creating a fake marching band so Buddy can save face. Mallory loses her nerve in class when a kid makes fun of her. She feels like she's always lagging behind in the conversation because Mr. Cobb keeps changing the subject before she gets a chance to answer. She worries that her opinions are wrong because Mr. Cobb likes it when kids say things she disagrees with. The one time he does call on her, she messes up. So Mallory leaves class feeling awful, shy, and quiet, just like Marianne. Mallory is in charge of the 6th grade fundraiser. Every year, the class raises a bunch of money to donate to the school. This pays for things like gym equipment and new lockers. It's supposed to build school spirit, but it sounds more like the school is tricking students into paying for their general repairs. Mallory feels intimidated and embarrassed about sharing her fundraiser ideas. Her friend Sandra is no help, as all she does is agree with whatever Justin the Hot Guy says. Mr. Cobb asks for ideas on how to promote literature. Mallory suggests reading to kids at the elementary school. The other students disagree, and Mr. Cobb is visibly unconvinced. Sandra confesses she liked Mallory's idea, but she sided against Mallory in class because Sandra didn't want to disagree with the boys or look pushy in front of them. The marching band has a bad practice. Everyone argues constantly because they all want to do different things. I think this is supposed to mirror the arguments in Mallory's class discussion, but I'm not sure. Mallory and Sandra discover that, 5 years ago, the school stole fundraising money that was set aside for a student lounge. They confront the principal. He says they can't give the money back since it's already been spent. When another teacher points out they do have enough money to spare, he reluctantly agrees to give back the $1,000 if they raise another $1,000 this week. Wow, this guy seems like a financial scumbag. How about you return the money you stole without any strings attached? Luckily, Mallory's fundraisers are all lots of fun, and they make more than enough money to pay for the student lounge. Unless the principal steals it again. I wish the book had kept going with the Mallory is shy storyline, but it turns into Mallory's not shy. She's struggling because Mr. Cobb is sexist. Mr. Cobb openly favors the male students. He calls on boys more often. He only lets boys break the no talking without being called on rule. Boys get all the time they want to come up with answers, but if girls don't answer within 3 seconds, he cuts them off and calls on someone else. Mallory talks to Mr. Cobb after class about his sexist tendencies. He says she's wrong and accuses her of lying.
Look, Mallory, a student has to take responsibility for herself. If you don't feel comfortable speaking out in class, you can't blame it on me.
Wow, Mr. Cobb is a terrible teacher. Between him and the guy who hit on Stacy, I'd say the school did a terrible job of hiring new teachers this year. Were they only picking male teachers based on looks, not ability? Mr. Cobb pays close attention during the next class, and he realizes he does let boys control the discussion. he apologizes to the entire class and promises to do better in the future. Good for him, but I think he owes Mallory a direct apology. Mallory also confronts Sandra over how she acts differently around boys. Sandra confesses she acts timid on purpose because she doesn't like being the center of attention. Sandra self-corrects, and she stands up for Mallory in front of Justin. The Memorial Day parade is a mess. The parents drop off their kids and run away without saying anything. So the Babysitters Club is forced to watch dozens of kids for free for a few hours. Why are all the adults in town so terrible in this book? Mallory tries her hardest in class and she notably improves, but she fails to get an A. Only 2 students get A's. So Mr. Cobb is an unfair grader, too. The end. Post-book follow-up. I thought this was a good book. It was emotional. I got really angry at Mr. Cobb, and I cared more about Sandra than most friend characters who only show up for one book. Sandra acting differently around boys is exaggerated, but her story works well. It's got a beginning, middle, and end. Also, it's realistic for kids to start acting differently in middle school. I was indifferent to the fundraising storyline. It was fun to see all the different events, but there have been too many carnival storylines in the Babysitters Club series recently. The marching band storyline was the worst one. It's a comedy relief story, but I didn't think it was funny. I'd say less than 10% of the jokes amused me. But hey, at least we got a chapter starring Anna. That was nice. Overall, I liked it. I really sympathized with Mallory's plight and all the difficulties that are inherent in group discussions. I liked how Mr. Cobb's sexism was subtle at first, then became more and more apparent as Mallory grew aware of what was happening. That was good writing. I also liked how the BSC members were nice and supportive of Mallory instead of ignoring her problems. I give Babysitters Club number 108, Don't Give Up, Mallory, a 9 out of 10.